Welcome to my journey through the Bible. This will be applications you can apply to your life and a little more in depth about the chapter. We are in 2 Kings chapter 2, verses 1 through 25. And we see that God was going to call up Elijah. Now, Elijah was wanting Elijah to stay back behind, and he would not. 3 different times Elijah had asked him to stay back, but Elijah said, no, wherever you go, I'm going to be there with you. He wanted to be with him until the very end. Now, that is no different than us. If we know that we are about to lose a loved one, we are going to spend every second with them. We're going to hope that we get some last words from them, some advice. We're going to cherish those last moments and those last conversations, those last memories that we have of them. And then Elijah had also asked if he could have a double portion of what Elijah had had. Elijah was not being greedy or impolite or disrespectful. In this custom, it was normal for the oldest son to get a double portion. And Elijah was learning everything that he could about God. And he wanted to have a double portion of that spiritual connection with God. And so it was not wrong for him to ask for that. And of course, Elijah said, if you see me go up, you will have it. If you do not, you won't. And then when Elijah saw him go up, then he knew he had a double portion of the spirit that God had given to him. Now, the sons of the prophet that was there, they saw all of this, and they could not really understand that God had just took him up into the heavens. They thought, surely he's in the mountains, he's in the valleys, maybe he's in a cave. We can find him. We definitely can find him. We're going to pray to God, and God's going to show us where he's at. And they went out and they began to look, and they looked for 3 days, and then they come back and they couldn't find him. So of course they're telling Elijah, we looked for him and we could not find him. Elijah had already knew where he was at. And I think today it's hard for us to understand or believe things too. Sometimes it's hard for us to believe in God. It's hard for us to believe that people can be nice. It's hard for us to believe that somebody would do something for us without wanting something back in return. And it's all of the perspective that we have. And we need to ask God to help us to have his perspective so that we can see his children in need and that are hurting. And sometimes they hurt somebody else out of being hurt. We need to be able to pray for people that we don't even know, but we pray for them because they need it, because we can see the pain that they have. Even if we don't know all the details, God knows that. And we can lift them up to God and ask for peace and for comfort and for blessings to be poured out on that person's life. And God will hear our prayers because our prayers do not go out void. God hears everything that we ask of him. Now, we also see that these children were making fun of Elijah for being bald-headed. Now, this might have just been a thing of being disrespectful, but it also might have been a way of trying to discredit the spiritual gifts that was given to Elijah. And so he prayed to God, and God took care of it. Now, I feel like today, though our spiritual leaders, our ministers, our people that are in any kind of leadership position, sometimes they become a popular sport, sort of. They're in a position, they become very vulnerable. People begin to make fun of them. Sometimes they're trying to make fun of them out of trying to discredit what they are doing or the position that they hold. But we have to be very careful about the people that we make fun of, because we may be making fun of people that God has led spiritually to be in the position that they are in. And therefore, we need to be very cautious, because vengeance will be the Lord. And if we try to discredit or take out somebody that God has put in a position, then the consequences that God gives us is going to probably be more than we can bear. So God tells us we are to pray for our leaders of our country. We are supposed to pray for our ministers. We're not supposed to make their jobs harder. We should help them. We should encourage them. And we should pray for them. You never know. One day, God may put you in one of those positions, and you're going to want people to support you and not make fun of you or try to discredit you. May God be with you in everything and every way.